Some of you know that I was friends with Nelson DeMille, one of the most successful authors of fiction in the United States. Mr. DeMille died last year at the age of 81 from cancer. I was with him to the end. He wrote 24 novels. He was on a bestseller list. He had movies made of his books. You know, I mean, if you read books, you know Nelson DeMille. All right, so he's got a new one out written with his son, The Tin Men, and it comes out October 28th, next week. And it's again featuring Army Special Agents investigators, Scott Brody and Maggie Taylor, which are two very, very good characters. So joining us now from Brooklyn, New York, is Alex DeMille, who co-wrote this book with his late father. So how you doing, Alex? How's the family, first of all? We really miss Nelson.
Thank you, Bill. I'm doing well. I know he appreciated your friendship, and we appreciate it too in the difficult time when he passed last year.
Yeah,
But we're doing okay. Yeah.
but the outpouring of affection for him was really impressive. And his son James, and I know you're helping James out. He's up in college now, and but if you guys need anything, you just let me know right away, because Nelson was a very unique individual I respected very much. Now, it must be tough for a son, a young guy like you. Well, you know, you're in your 40s, but Nelson was a pro. And did he like scorn you or scold you during the book if he didn't like what you were doing? I always wanted to ask you that.
No. To be honestly, when he first asked me to work with him, this would have been in 2017. I told him that I didn't think it was a good idea, because you know, a family relationship, business relationship, those are two different things. And I was a little concerned that, it would be like oil and water. But despite, his career, despite the fact that I was doing adjacent work, but I was screenwriting, I was doing film editing and things like that. We came to it with a mutual respect. And he definitely, we had pushback, most of the time. The first book, I'd say he won, 90% of the battles. Second book, maybe 70%. And, as I got more experience and a little more seasoned, I think we kind of developed a rapport.
What did
So
you offer?
no scolding. Maybe a lot of like angry X's with pencils on the paper.
Yeah. What the deuce you doing? What did you offer your father? A fairly big age difference. Generational difference. Your father was a hero in Vietnam. That's how far back he went. So what did you bring him as a younger voice?
Well, the characters that we feature in these three books, Scott Brody and Maggie Taylor, are in their 30s. So their life experience, they're both combat veterans. Their life experiences were closer to him, but their age, their generation was more in line with me. So I think I brought a little bit of a younger voice and a kind of a different perspective on how a male-female team, professionals working together, might interact with each other, and what might have been okay in the 80s, and that maybe it sort of doesn't work quite the same way today with younger characters.
Homeowners, when is the last time you checked on your home title? If your answer is never, then this is for you. Scammers are stealing titles, and your equity is the target. Criminals forge your signature. Just like that, your home title can be transferred out of your name. That's why I partnered up with Home Title Lock, so you can find out today if you're already a victim. Please use my promo code BILL at HometitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report. Plus, you will get a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts of any changes, and if fraud does happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code BILL. Nelson would call me one time. He was furious because they took out, the publisher took out some of the references that he had in dialogue. They said, "Oh, you can't say that about," I think it was Chinese people. So
Yeah.
and he was like, "All right, it's the way they talk. It's the way come on." And I said, "Listen, Nelson, calm down. Let your son handle this kind of stuff."
Well, the funny thing, the example you're talking about is that was the villains. he's like, the villains are being racist and saying racist stuff, but you don't want it in here. Which, yeah, it's
It's
complicated.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so obnoxious that, and he called me because he knows that, I never change anything, no matter what the publisher says.
yeah.
But, you can do that when you're selling more nonfiction books than anybody in the world. Your book, This Tin Man, I'm in the middle of it, is a mystery, all right? And it's fun and people will like it. But I like to read fiction where I learn something. So what am I going to learn in Tin Men?
I think you'll probably hopefully learn what I learned, which was the role that autonomous weaponry and AI and robotics plays and might continue to play in the military. There's a lot of interesting thinking on this right now, and how much are you allowed to take a human out of the loop in any of these kind of weapon systems, for instance? Obviously, this is a thriller and things go wrong, but you want to look at how things are actually supposed to go, and kind of the kind of official thinking about how they can integrate these things and the role that AI currently plays and might play in the future. So that's definitely some of the themes I was exploring in
All
this
right,
book.
so it's new weaponry, and
Hmm.
that's big because we're in a race with China, to some extent Russia, to develop these unbelievable weapons now, where you wouldn't need the infantry very much anymore except for specialized operations. So you're honing in on that. All right, Alex, look, we wish you the best. The novel is called The Tin Men. You can order it now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of that. And, you're have another bestseller. I can almost guarantee that. And we really appreciate you coming on, Alex. And if you need anything, as I said, let me know, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you, Bill. Thanks
Okay,
for having me.
right.